Hi, Angela Wolf here. So the last step at sewing our Linda tunic is to hem. And hemming on the curves sometimes gets people in trouble. So I'm going to show you how to do a really small hem. So this is what the pattern looks like as a refresher. And here I've just taken one piece. I don't think you need to watch the whole top, but basically I'm going to turn this under, stitch all the way around, flip it up, press it, and do it again. So follow along. So I have a 2.5 stitch length. You could even go up to a 3.0 if you want. And I'm stitching just along the edge. Now watch what happens when I go around the curve, and I'll try to keep my hands out of the way. But I'm sticking my finger in here and pulling the fabric this way. So as I'm stitching around the curve, I'm just getting the little edge of that curve. Now, if my cutting is crooked or anything else, it doesn't really matter because we're going to be folding that later, or you can trim it off. The most important is that the stitch looks nice and smooth on the sewing machine. So go a little bit further. And like I said, I'm just taking a little piece here going around the curve so you can see what this is like. Now we're going into the upper part of the curve, and again, I'm holding my finger there just to measure so I can keep that stitch about equal. Now I'm using a contrasting thread again so you can see this, but let's go up to the pressing area. So the first thing, there's a lot of wrinkles there. Not to worry. Give it a little pressing with some steam, and it's gone. A little bit further, and it's gone. And I can see that right through this area here, I have a little bit more seam allowance than I do other places. So you could actually trim that if you want to and make it even. I'm just going to keep going for now. And around. So look at all those wrinkles disappeared. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this up and press a little bit further. So I'm basically enclosing that hem allowance. You can still see your previous stitch right here, barely. But I find this to be the easiest way to do this rolled hem. So how much am I turning it up each time? Well, this pattern has a 1/2 inch hem. So 1/4 inch plus 1/4 inch. Now I'm going to be pressing again. Pressing is probably your best friend besides trying to sew straight when you're doing this hem. So let's go back to the machine. Now, from the right side of the fabric, I've tucked this under. And I'm going to stitch just on the edge. So where I'm stitching is just on the edge, capturing that folded hem. So your first stitch line, are you going to see it from the right side of the fabric? Nope. But it sure helps make a good guideline to fold this up and press. I usually try to top stitch from the right side of the garment. Not always, but usually. And I can feel that fold underneath. And then keep going around. And what I'm doing is I'm lining the edge of the fabric up with this edge of the foot so I can see that myself. There are other specialty feet that you can use for a hem, but this is what I find to be the easiest. If you're in a real big hurry, you could skip that last pressing step and just turn it under and press at the end. I just find this to be a little bit more foolproof. And again, you can see it's kind of wrinkling just a little bit, but give it a little pressing. If you're using a silk or a fabric that can show your iron, be sure to use a press cloth or press from the wrong side of the hem. See how that goes around? So this will allow your shirt to be longer in the front, longer in the back, but shorter on the sides. Very stylish. Looks great with leggings. You could add a belt. Here you go. There's the curve. It looks great. And one more thing with this hem, by the way, I wanted to show you that other stitch under there, you can see that, but not from the right side. So one more thing is this pattern is very versatile. You could cut across this pattern. I would cut about right at the hip length and lengthen it as long as you want. You could have a dress. This would look great on the beach over a bikini too. So that's how you hem. Now, again, I have one more pattern hack for you. We're going to change the sleeves to lace.